Welcome back to another Slay the Spire stream. I'm your host, Vegetable Red. Today we're going to be starting off playing some Ascension 20 with Silent. Shh. Quiet. Nobody tell the monsters we're coming. Transformative cards bad. Random relics are good. Rare cards are okay. Boss relics are okay. I am going to destroy my vocal cords if I whisper anymore. For some reason, whispering is very stressful for me. So we got a 3-fight, 2 question mark path over here. If we could go to a fire and an elite, but then we got a mega elite, and that's upsetting. There's another 3-fight, 2 question mark path with fire and then an elite. That's nice. It goes to a store after that. A little bit confusing. If we wanted to take the curse for a rare card, we would probably want an earlier shop. You want like a floor 2 to 4 shop, not like a floor 7 shop. So we're probably not doing that one. Although rare cards are very nice. Get Wraith Form, get a Burst, Nightmare. But silent rare cards honestly are not that useful in Act 1 often. I think we're technically on a silent win streak too. If we win this game, this would be our second silent win in a row. So we should probably try pretty hard. Probably going to go for a random common relic. I think that's probably a good way to get started. Let's take a look at the pathing again. We're probably going to do this route, 3 fights, get an elite. I wish there was a gold option. Like 100 gold is great if you can go through all these fights and then get to a still somewhat early shop. After this shop, we have to decide if we want to go fight this elite or if we'd rather go fight a hallway fight. Probably don't want to go to 2 shops in a row. Hopefully it's the elite, and then if we want to rest, we go to another elite. I'm getting 3 in the act, which is pretty much ideal, as long as you can be safe while doing it. Pretty rare you're going to get 4. Okay, let's go for that then. Potion Belt. Okay. Potion Belt is better on silent than on other classes because of Alchemize. So maybe we can find ourselves an Alchemize. Start being an alchemist. Alright, we can kill this one. Set him up for next turn. Although we're going to need to find 2 strikes next turn, so we're going to be weak. It works, actually. Alright. Floor 1, so we would like to pick just some sort of damage common, help get the deck off the ground. Noxious fumes and that kind of stuff also very welcome on floor 1. It looks like it's Quick Slash versus Flechettes here for damagey cards. Flechettes is actually pretty nice. It puts you in kind of a weird spot. So Flechettes and Barrage have the unique honor of being the highest like strength scaling cards in the game. Barrage you can get 10 attacks, and Flechettes you can get 9. But of the 2, Flechettes is much harder to set up. It's very difficult to get 9 skills in your hand, and 1 copy of Flechettes. And also of the 2, the deck archetype in which you Flechettes for 9 times your strength is much more awkward than the deck archetype where you Barrage for 10 times your strength. Because if you are a strength scaling deck, you probably don't want to be a deck that has 9 skills in hand. So Flechettes is a very confusing card. It tells you to go a lot of different directions, and those directions fight each other. Also, sometimes it does 0 damage, and that's really upsetting. But Flechettes tends to like direct you to go the right direction, right? Like cards that are good with Flechettes tend to just be good, like Backflip and like not Well-Laid Plans. I guess Well-Laid Plans technically, but Escape Plan. Those are the kinds of cards you want with Flechettes. It also does more damage than Quick Slash, although Quick Slash makes the deck a little bit more consistent. And Flechettes sort of leads us into a bad direction for Gremlin Knob, because if we start picking skills, then we have bad cards against Gremlin Knob. You heard about Slay the Spire from the website Rock Paper Shotgun back when it first released, but you didn't take the plunge and buy it until about January of this year. So I heard about Slay the Spire from a coworker, and this is kind of a this is kind of a like game development unique experience where it's like people talk a lot about like niche indie games. So when I first heard about Slay the Spire, I was like, this is a tiny indie game. And I heard about it because I was working on Hearthstone at the time. So when it first released, a bunch of the Hearthstone developers were playing it. And so that's when I started playing it. That's partially why I was curious, right? I was like, I heard about this because I was working in a very related industry, but I need to know how other people heard about it so that I can come up with a marketing plan for a somewhat similar game. So you heard about it through like primary press coverage. That's interesting. Getting an RPS review is probably beyond what I can expect, unfortunately. Let's see. Yeah, I think Flechettes is probably where we're at. Do we fight the light? I think if we're on a path with 3 elites, probably no. Fighting the light is an interesting event, but it's very expensive, and at least if you're defect, a lot of the cards that it hits are bad. Especially since the Flechettes upgrade is like not amazing. I really just want like a neutralize upgrade. Yeah, I think we're probably going to turn down the light here. It is possible that we like, if we fight the light, we get neutralized Flechettes, and then we like don't lose any health in these hallway fights, and then we like get to like rest here, and we get 2 upgrades instead of 1. But it's much more likely that it hits like a strike defend, or 2 strikes. 2 defense. Because we have 10 strike defense and 3 non-strike non-defense. So we're gonna skip it. Okay, Jaw Worm. Much like Jaw Rule, but slightly different. UnbuzzB, have you played Monster Train? And if so, how did you hear about Monster Train? I think we're okay taking 1 here. Develop 6 damage. Ooh, there's a Catalyst. Catalyst is a skill. Flechettes counts skills. Potion Belt also encourages us to pick Alchemize, which is a skill. I thought against Flying Knee. It's a Catalysm Curse right now. Doesn't actually do anything. Here's a question. Are we up against Slime Boss? We are. Slime Boss is both good and bad for Catalyst, for an Act 1 Catalyst. If you can pull it off, it's really good for an Act 1 Catalyst, because you can like stack up a bunch of poison and then Catalyst and like split him at 10 or something. It's interesting that you heard about Slay the Spire from Primary News Coverage, and you heard about what is it? Monster Train from I don't know, content creators, I guess is the category of Twitch things. Because so time has passed between these 2 games being released. Obviously, it's a slightly different world, but it's not like a significantly different world, right? Like Rock Paper Shotgun still exists, and writes articles, and I'm sure they've written one about Monster Train. Monster Train certainly was very aggressive at recruiting streamers, although they did not offer me a free key. So perhaps it's what I'm observing is a difference in marketing strategy. I feel like Monster Train was recruited a lot more, or was marketed a lot more aggressively in general. I feel like they had a lot bigger budget than Slay the Spire. I think Slay the Spire was kind of a surprise hit, so they didn't have like a lot of money to throw at it. But Monster Train was like an intentional, like, hey, this is a proven market. Let's try and jam something in here and capitalize on that. Honestly, I think within the past year is the correct time to be starting on Twitch streaming, or Twitch viewership. I think that, like, because theoretically it started out as, like, Justin TV in, like, I don't know, the year 2000. But, like, it was such a niche cultural institution, and like now it's a much more like there's a much bigger community, much larger variety of content being produced, a lot more professional. Not that I'm professional, but the people at Twitch are much more professional now than they were. Although I am also professional technically. Okay, so Catalyst or Flying Knee, I think, are the things. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about. Yeah, I wonder if Twitch saw a bump related to physical sports ceasing. I know that physical sports stopping has taken like a pretty gigantic bite out of a lot of people's lives. I think that's like one of the most painful parts about the current health and economic crisis. I think we are going to take Catalyst. It's usually where we want to end up. We have a Flechettes. I think we can afford the curse. Golden Idol for 0 current HP loss. I'll take it. Right. Nobody's attacking on turn 1. That's unusual. It's true, yeah. It's sports are going to need to have a bit of a renaissance. My dad works in works for sports. Works for sports. He's a sports journalist, I guess you would say, or not journalist, but writer. And yeah, it's interesting. I think we just neutralized double or triple defend here. Is that crazy? It just seems like taking 0 is very realistic here. No, I think we're gonna fit a Flechettes in. We only take 1. It's worth 1 health to do 12. Okay, Strength Pot. That's great with Flechettes. There's a second copy of Flechettes. I mean, if you can take 2 copies of the same uncommon for your first 2 attack cards, I think you should probably do it in general. Just like, now you've got more consistent access to something you've chosen to spec into. I guess for some things that's not true. For some things it's like, they get worse the more copies of them you get. Like potentially Flying Knee. But even with Flying Knee, it's just like, if you get a bunch of copies of it, it's like, great, now you pick up Malaise, you know? You Malaise people for a bunch. No thanks are required. I appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for just being here so I can talk to you, so I'm not talking to myself. I think that's like the hardest part. I think that's like the biggest barrier to entry for streaming, is like, for the first month or so, like, while you're streaming, 50% of the time, you're just going to be completely talking to yourself. Like, no viewers even. Not just, like, not nobody chatting. Like, nobody even watching. And that's depressing. So you got to fight through that. So I appreciate everyone who's in the community, whether they're supporting financially or planning to buy the game or whatever. You're all helping. Yeah, it's an upsetting period. And if I can, like, shields down a little bit. So I had my, like, recent streaming performance is I had a really nice run where like all my numbers were looking nice and exponential, and I had a stream where I got 14 followers in one day, and there were like 60 viewers, and I was like, oh my god, I'm never gonna have a stream again where I don't get any followers, right? But then the very next stream, 0 followers, and I was like, oh my god, and for like the next like week and a half, it was 0 followers. And I was devastated. It was difficult. And I'm only honestly coming out of that now. Like the last like 5 or so streams have been better, but yeah, it's a struggle. You know, you got to fight through it. I appreciate Grizzly Bear. I appreciate your perception that this is we've totally made it through. I wouldn't say we've cracked a big, you know, cracked an egg open and now we're like doing 1,000 viewer streams. You know, like it's. I think that I've got like a good rhythm, and I think I'm making good content. I appreciate. I watch my own streams when I upload them to YouTube, and I catch myself just like, you know, eating popcorn and watching myself, and I'm like, oh wait, this is weird. Go back to work. But that's like game development is weird because you have to let yourself have fun. And sometimes it doesn't feel like you're supposed to. I don't know if I can explain that. I think we can afford to upgrade because we're only getting 3 health. And I'm tempted to upgrade Catalyst because the upgrade is so good, but it doesn't actually do anything here, so I think we're going to do Flechettes. Ooh, maybe Neutralize. Neutralize can save you an extra 5 health against Lagavulin pretty consistently. We want to make sure we get it upgraded before Slime Boss so that we have additional weak availability. Yeah, I guess since we haven't seen like a leg sweep or like a poison cloud or anything yet, we should probably upgrade Neutralize before Flechettes. Okay. Alright, here's first elite. Unless we want to take shop first for some reason, but I don't think we do. I think shop second is correct. Plus, if we took shop first, we would be locked out of this elite. Alright, double Flechettes opening. Less impressive than it might seem, given that we only have 2 skills in hand. So these are shooting 8 damage. Probably Strength Potion in this fight. So we're probably waking up with both Flechettes, the Neutralize of a strike. Alright, and he's weak for next turn. Ooh, keep that Neutralize rolling. I appreciate that. Second strike or second defend? 5 health or 8 damage? I think 8 damage. Silent versus Lagavulin, especially if Lagavulin's your first elite, is a bit of a struggle. It's definitely a losable fight, especially because we have Flechettes. So if we start stacking up strength down, these could go to 0 damage, and so would Neutralize. So we need the damage 100%. We can't really afford to miss any damage, basically. We'll exhaust a Catalyst. Might as well. Yeah, I don't think 3 block is worth 6 damage. Although we're probably getting lethal next turn. So maybe 3 health is better than... Let's see, so we have to get 3 strikes to get lethal next turn, or like a Flechette's 3 skills and an attack. That's actually pretty likely. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikes, 2 Flechettes. The only way to miss is to draw either 3 defends and no Flechettes, or 4 defends. And 4 defends is 4 out of 5 of them. That's like 80% of them. I guess it's unlikely, but 3 health is not that much, and if we take that risk and lose, we might like, die. So let's not take that risk. It just doesn't pay off. Yep, and indeed, we would not have gotten lethal if we hadn't done it. So that paid off huge. We got paid 3 health to gain 20. Bag of Prep, so we're gonna double Silent on turn 1. Since we have Bag of Prep, we'll probably take Ring of the Serpent if we see it at the boss. Backstab is actually almost automatic here. We need some more damage, and we're gonna have 9 cards on turn 1, so just having a guaranteed 0 cost one seems like a really big deal. To make sure that we can, spend several cards in our hand. On the flip side, if this were an innate skill, it'd be even better, because since we're drawing 9 cards, we're very likely to draw flechettes. So if we take Backstab, we're removing one of the slots in our hand that could have been a skill. But I think it's totally worth it. Okay, Poison Cloud? No Poison Cloud. We could Orrery, look for a Poison Cloud. Let's see. So we're probably going... Are we going to this elite? Or are we skipping that elite and going to this fight? I have definitely tried Monster Train. I've played a bunch of Monster Train. I have thoughts. I'm not actually super on board for Monster Train. Like, I've been playing it quite a bit. But I definitely don't think it is the game that Slay the Spire is. Like, one of the best things about Slay the Spire is I feel pretty comfortable recommending it to anyone, because it's like got a super smooth on-ramp, where it's like there's no tutorial text, just like things start out easy, and then you're like excited to unlock stuff, and as you unlock more things, the game gets a little bit more complicated, and eventually unlock Ascensions, and you can start climbing them, and it's just like buttery smooth and feels great the whole way. Whereas Monster Train's got this like super awkward like tutorial with lots of text, and you have to like click through it, and then like your first run is like randomized, and your second run is like crazy randomized. So it's like it's just not delivering you a consistent new user experience. I don't know why I'm talking about that now, but it is fun. But there are some problems. Okay, what are we doing here? We have Dark Shackles. Dark Shackles is a 0 cost skill, which is useful on turn 1. Generally don't buy Dark Shackles as Silent, because Silent has access to Piercing Wail, which basically does the same thing, and is a common. And Dark Shackles is kind of expensive. Probably never buying Omamori. I think if we're buying a relic, it's probably Orrery or Anchor. Footwork is nice, obviously. No poison available either. We could take Orrery and just look for poison stuff, because we have a Catalyst. Yeah, exactly. Yep. I think Monster Train is gonna have huge user acquisition problems, which is weird considering they invested so much energy into their marketing. It's like, why start your funnel super wide if you're gonna like choke it off immediately to like only people who already understand how to play the game? Yeah, I think we do want Orrery here. I don't usually take like an early Orrery, but Orrery's quite a bit better when they changed it from a boss relic to a shop relic. I quite like it as a shop relic. It was terrible as a boss relic. Yeah, I like Footwork, but I'm afraid of Gremlin Knob, and Orrery makes me less afraid. So if we Orrery and it's good, we go fight this elite. If we Orrery and it's bad, we go fight the hallway fight and heal. I think is probably the line. Okay, interesting. Riddle with Holes also strength scales. Doppelganger helps us set up gigantic, whatchamacallem, flechettes turns. There's some poison. None of these cards are any good. There's our Footwork. Probably don't want either of those. There's Backflip. I don't think we're taking Accuracy or Sneaky Strike. And there's Deadly Poison. Okay, so probably taking the Deadly Poison and the Bouncing Flask, and then upgrading the Catalyst. I'll try and do that. Good morning, Mint Chalk. How did you hear about Slay the Spire? Do we take, like, Doppelganger? Maybe we just take like Dagger Throw. I'm a little bit, I'm like afraid of Gremlin Knob already, and I get more afraid the more skill cards we take. So I think Deadly Poison's probably the best card in the pack. Something like that. And then maybe Footwork. Yeah, I think Bouncing Flask is better than Skip. Oh, the question is, how did you learn about Slay the Spire? It's in the title as well, so. I think a Dagger Throw over Doppelganger. Dagger Throw also sets up good Flechette's turns, because we can, it is an attack, and it lets us draw a skill and get rid of an attack. I think we skip this pick. I don't think Backflip's good enough. We're not trying to add defense to the deck right now. Okay. That was a pretty good one. We're still afraid of Gremlin Knob, but let's go fight him. Okay, Gremlin Horn's way better than Skip. Ah, here he is. He's mad because we got his horn. You know, okay, we've had a lot of discussions on this channel about who the horn is from, and I don't think I've ever had Gremlin Horn when I'm encountering Gremlin Knob, but now that I am, it's very clear that Gremlin Horn is literally taken from Gremlin Knob's art. It's this horn just turned a little bit, and like with a hole at the bottom. Like, it's literally like exactly the same. Maybe this little bit over here is curved a little bit more, but it's like it's clear that they used Gremlin Knob's horn as reference when they were making Gremlin Horn. Okay, probably want to Deadly Poison Catalyst. We're definitely going to neutralize and backstab. Let's Dagger Throw first. Yeah. And I guess you could make an argument that Gremlin Leader has had asymmetric horns before one of them got taken off, but yeah, I think it's pretty clear this is Gremlin Knob's horn. Okay, let's do that Exhaust Catalyst so we don't have to draw that again in the future. And hey, get 10 poison. We're only striking. If we Bouncing Flask, he goes from 9 to 18 poison. Then he takes 18 and goes to 31. And then takes 17 from 31. So we'd have to do 14 damage next turn. How likely are we to have 14 damage next turn? 100% guaranteed. We cannot miss. Right? There's no way to miss. The lowest damage is like defend Flechette's double strike, and that is enough. Okay. So it's guaranteed, so we'll use Bouncing Flask to get the lethal. Ooh, this damage, this is almost less, because Flechettes are hitting for 0, but then the 3 strikes are enough. Okay. You found Slay the Spire on Twitch, but it started with Darkest Dungeon. Interesting. So you followed Darkest Dungeon streamers, and then they started playing Slay the Spire? Bottled Flame is really interesting. Ooh, After Image. Okay. Alright, we got a thing now, right? After Image is great. That's really interesting that you tell that story, because like I was talking to my wife yesterday, and I was telling her that for somebody's first playthrough, it's really important for a roguelike that you present a really good experience, which I think is something Monster Train is not super good at, but you also make it clear that the experience is randomized, and that you will get a different experience if you play again. Because a common drop-off point is for people to like play a game and like maybe finish a run, maybe not finish a run. But like when that first run ends, particularly if they lose, that's a huge exit point, right? Like a lot of people are going to be like, okay, I'm done. But if someone is introduced to the game through a streamer like you were, Mintchuck, then like there's no way that they're not familiar with the fact that the game is randomized, right? Like that's just not an option because the streamer is going to like talk about it, yeah. So you know what you're getting into, which is really like a huge plus for like complex procedurally generated turn-based strategy games, which is what I'm making. Okay, I'm really excited about Afterimage. Is it actually good, is the question. It's yet another innate card that is not a skill, which is upsetting. Especially since in this same card pick, we're being offered a Bottled Flame, which currently would like to go on Flechettes. So if we take Bottled Flame and Afterimage, then we put ourselves in this weird position where we draw 9 cards with the Bag of Prep and the Ring of the Snake, but then 2 of them are guaranteed not to be skills, and 1 of them is a Flechettes. So we only draw 6 cards that could be skills. Which is fine. If we like remove all the strikes from the deck, then like, you know, we'll end up drawing 4 skills, which is still a pretty good Flechettes. Afterimage is really, it's a non-dexterity way of blocking, so it fights a little bit with footwork. But at the same time, it doesn't really fight with footwork, because if you have Afterimage and footwork, then you get, not only do you have like a backup plan for block, you also just have like extra block. And like, if you wraith form, you kind of need to have a non-dexterity plan. And cards like Escape Plan are just good with both. And there's quite a few of those, backflips and stuff. Afterimage decks do tend to struggle against Time Lord and to some extent against the Heart. But we're actually really good at both those fights. As an Act 1 Catalyst finder, we're not really afraid of Time Lord or the Heart. Catalyst tends to be really good at solving both those fights. So I think we're pretty excited about Afterimage. And the Bottled Flame on the Flechettes. Right? Yeah. We're going to have to upgrade the Bottled Flechettes at some point. But that point is not now, because we need to rest. Darkest Dungeon is a really interesting game. It's it definitely has. I can definitely see why you bounce off of it, right? It's like I think I myself have bounced off of it. It's I don't know. I guess it doesn't have any like mechanical features that are like dissimilar to Slay the Spire, but you have a roster of characters, and Darkest Dungeon's like the shtick is that it hurts them. It like turns them into like depressed drunkards, right? And it's just even if you're like able to abstract that away as like a game mechanic, it's still like it's still sort of a repellent concept. So these do 8 damage. This does 9 damage. This does 11 damage. This doubles poison. Let's see what our card is. We don't need that many strikes. Okay. I think we're just going to Afterimage, Backstab, Defend. The Flechettes didn't turn out to be very good this turn. Okay. Well, if you can block for 20 against turn 2 on sentries, you probably feel pretty good about the fight. I think we're just going to try and focus down the first guy. Bouncing Flask is nice for removing artifact charges, and we do need to remove artifact charges. But with this strike, we guarantee killing him if we Deadly Poison strike him. Which I like. Okay. Let's see. If we play these 3 cards, we block out. So we're going to strike him and then dagger throw somebody else. I guess I'll dagger throw first. Okay. I have not played any of the modded characters in Slay the Spire, which I think is a real failing. I need to fix that at some point. Okay, we got all the artifact charges, but not in any real damage. I will use Catalyst. I'm not super hopeful that it's going to get a lot better. Mainly using it for the one block there, in case that wasn't clear. Which modded characters are the best? I think I'll do a stream where I just play modded characters. Darn, handful of nothing. I saw somebody play the gold one. Jorbs has one too. Jorbs has like a wizardy guy. He looked very confusing. I was watching the stream and I was like, it's like defect but like way more complicated. Is that the idea? There's a businessman? I didn't know that. Still no poison. Offered another backstab. Heal hook. We don't have much source of weak, just the neutralize plus. Double backstab is kind of nice in a after image deck because you like guaranteed get some value out of after image on turn 1. But I think probably no. Dodge and roll is nice with the footwork. It's a way to keep blocking. I know the guy who made the mod where you play as a slime, or like a group of slimes. But I haven't played that mod either, so... Is dodge and roll better than skip? We need to take skills to make flechettes good. And dodge and roll is a pretty good skill. I think I'll take it. It doesn't draw cards or anything, but I think it's better than skip. We're only at 7. We do have a smoke bomb, so we're not in danger of dying, but I would like to preserve that resource if we can. So I think we're gonna go to the question mark. Ooh. Great decision. Free lantern. Alright, this looks like a smoke bomb. Oh my god. I am like surprised that I don't have after image because I like have a really high priority on upgrading it, so I usually have it upgraded. Our max damage is 12, 24, 35, 41. So we're off lethal by 2. We can block with Survivor, Dodge, and Roll, but that means we're only playing... Oh wait, we're not off lethal by 2. We have 4 energy because of the lantern, so we can play both strikes and get lethal. Okay. And play Dodge and Roll for block next turn. Sure. That was a good start, but this fight still might be a smoke bomb. It's possible. We can block out this turn. So after that turn, a lot less likely it's going to be a smoke bomb. Okay, after that turn, it's not going to be a smoke bomb. The fight's over. Tactician's not crazy. Tactician in an after image deck is kind of good. We've got Dagger Throw and Survivor. Tactician is the best of the unplayable if you discard this card cards. Usually. Sometimes the other one's better. But I don't think I'm going to pick it. I think we're more of a just play a bunch of poison and get intangible or something somehow deck rather than like an after image, play a bazillion cards deck. So let's go. And obviously we're resting here, unless we're like super confident we can kill Slime Boss in the first cycle for some reason I don't understand. Okay, wow, 6 skills. So it's probably like Flechette's Backstab, Bouncing Flask, Catalyst. That would be 24, 35, plus 18. 35 plus 18 is 53. 53 seems okay. We could bump it up a little bit with the Strength Pot. It gets us an additional 14 damage for 67 damage. Well, that sounds an awful lot like we're going to break him in the first phase. Which I guess we'd like to do. So let's do it. Okay, probably trying to get him to like 76 next turn. Oh wait, we're already going past that, huh? Okay, so we're just doing max damage here. If we dagger throw, could we draw anything that makes our damage lower? No. Well, actually, yes. If we draw neutralize, we would feel like we needed to discard a defend. So I'm going to Flechette's now. Okay, not a great split, but an okay one. After image footwork defend is okay. It's not great. Blocks for 8. Or 9, I guess. Take 3. We have neutralize next turn for if they're both attacking. We can't really set one of them up to split. We could like double strike defend, skip both with powers. I think I like playing both powers. Okay, clearly you're getting neutralized. Frail's pretty scary, but it looks like that's just going to be our life now because we've already got 3 Frail. I think we'll still target Spike Slime because he does more damage. 6 plus 8 is 14, 19 damage. So we could put him to 20, which doesn't split him. Which sounds okay to me. My math was way wrong somehow. He is definitely splitting. Yeah, he's less than 40 health. I'm not sure how I thought doing 20 damage to him was not going to split him. Especially since I had already done 5. Probably don't need 2 copies of slime in hand. And start working down these spike slimes. Okay, this kills one perfectly, which I like. If this draws an attack, we can kill him and get another proc of Gremlin Horn. It's decently likely to draw an attack, it's not guaranteed. Okay, well let's just try and preserve some life. Kill him. See if we can block more. Nope. Okay, set him up, block, and do it with a slime. Take 5. Max damage is double strike dagger throw. It's more than bouncing flask. So it's going to be 16 plus 11 is 27. That's lethal. That's exactly his life total. I like it. Okay, there's the Alchemize with the potion belt that I talked about a long time ago. Phantasmical is pretty terrible. And I don't see any reason we should take Envenom. Although we do have Catalyst, and we don't have Noxious Fumes or a ton of poison cards. We've got a couple. We don't have any Poison Cloud is the big one we're missing. Envenom is a real bad card, though. Envenom Plus is pretty okay. Yeah, I think I agree with Envenom, with the evaluation. I think that Envenom Minus should be 1 mana and deal 1 poison, and Envenom Plus should still be 1 mana and apply 2 poison. I think that would put the card in a way better place. Alchemize seems pretty good, though. It's like unusually good. If we get Sacred Bark too, we're in an interesting spot. No Sacred Bark. We've got Runic Pyramid. Runic Pyramid is pretty nuts, both in general and with Catalyst and with Flechettes. So it's hard not to say, aha, I found it. Let me see it here. Do we have any excuse for doing either of the other two? Sozu is bad. We just picked Alchemize. There's no way we're picking Sozu. We have Potion Belt. Yeah. Slaver's Collar is nice. I like having extra energy. It's a little bit inconsistent. And we do have some other energy relics. And we don't have anything like super expensive so far. We've got the Lantern and the Gremlin Horn. Gremlin Horn in particular is like hard to depend on because it only gives you energy when you're already winning fights. I would say including the Repromancer fight. Like you have to be doing enough damage to kill a dagger for it to even proc. And like if you're at Act 3 and you can't kill a dagger, like that's kind of on you. So it is pretty consistently good in that fight, but still, it's even better if you're winning. But Slaver's Collar also doesn't help you in hallway fights, which Runic Pyramid definitely does. So I think it's Runic Pyramid by a mile here. One thing that I like about Slay the Spire and don't like about Monster Train is relics are the most fun part about Slay the Spire. Like, you get to put them together and it's kind of like it's a deck, but it's like outside of your main deck, so they're just like always there doing their thing. For some reason, Monster Train you'll finish a run and you'll have like 3 relics. It's like, what? Why did you take this system from Slay the Spire and then like destroy it so thoroughly? I don't understand. They even like stole a bunch of relics from Slay the Spire directly. There's like a bunch of them that are just like straight up copies. Okay. We have 300 gold. It's Act 2, so question marks and shops are in play. This route has the 2 easy pool fights, a couple of question marks, and a shop, so that seems nice. A little bit afraid of this elite. Since we could get beat up in these hallway fights and then die to Slavers or Book of Stabbing. I think those are 2 scariest ones. So I would love to go to this little fire elite fireplace, but if we go there, we have to do 4 fights. So that's kind of out of the question. So I think we are going to go on this right path. A bunch of late question marks, too. So we could get Thwack for our 3rd elite. Thwack or Red Mask Gang or something. Yeah, it is shocking. I agree, but it's like shocking but not surprising. You know, it's like how do I say this? Like blatant ripoffs are just part of the games industry. It's the way that copyrights work for games is they basically don't apply at all. You basically can't copyright anything. in order for somebody to be in violation of copyright law, they have to like steal like specific text or like specific characters or like art. And like you can see why copyright laws were written to protect those sorts of works, because those were the sorts of works that were possible at the time. But they don't apply to games at all. So yeah, so it's just all the time games get totally ripped off. And it's somewhat a good thing, right? It allows a lot of experimentation and innovation in the games industry, where like somebody will come out with a cool new game and it'll turn into a genre like overnight, because people will be like, I'll just copy that game, have a team of artists make new art for everything, and then like change a couple of things, and then you get to find out in the marketplace of ideas if those couple of things are a good idea or not, or at least that's the theory. In reality, it's you end up with a lot of just like sleazy copies, which I wouldn't say Monster Train is. Monster Train is a legitimate, has a lot of innovation in it, so I don't mind the Slay the Spire ripoffs in Monster Train specifically, just because there is so much new stuff. What did you think about Monster Train? You love both. I think that's a very reasonable perspective. I think, yeah, Monster Train is clearly pitched at the Slay the Spire audience, so for them to get a hit is not surprising. I think this turn is just Deadly Poison, Double Defend, Survivor. Unfortunately, we have Runic Pyramid now. So if we do that turn, we're left with like 3 strikes, a backstab, and a flechettes in hand, which is terrible. I think I might just smoke bomb. Avocado is scary. But the way you phrased your question, Grizzlybeard, was, do the Slay the Spire guys have an economic incentive to see Monster Train succeed? And I'm not sure if what you mean by that is, are they not protecting their copyright because they want Monster Train to succeed? Which is kind of what I addressed with the first bit, which is like, they can't actually defend their copyright. The law is not on their side. Or if you meant, is it in the best interest of Slay the Spire developers if there are more successful games in this genre? Which I think generally, yes, it is. Because, like, Monster Train had a much bigger marketing push than Slay the Spire, right? So the Monster Train developers spent a bunch of money to like acquire Monster Train users, and a bunch of those Monster Train users are going to realize that are going to find out through some mechanism that it's a Slay the Spire ripoff, right? And then that's like, that's basically a home run for the Slay the Spire people, right? It's like, if the Monster Train developers spent $1 million on marketing, like $300,000 of that dollars is basically just spend on Slay the Spire marketing. So, yeah, actually, so Mint Chalk, you don't actually even have to change anything, as long as you change the art, and you don't directly copy like non-mechanical text, right? If you directly copy like flavor text, that's a copyright violation. But if you directly copy like numbers, even, that's not, you're allowed to do that. You can't copyright numbers. Okay, so yeah, I think we're smoke bombing this fight, which is embarrassing, but we can't kill him very quickly. Oh, like our max damage here is flechettes, backstab, deadly poison, double strike, or triple strike rather, the lantern. And that's 16, 27, 33, 45. And that's just nowhere near his health total, and then we take 21 damage. So I think we just smoke bomb. Poof. I'm going to describe a specific Monster Train mechanic and ask what you guys think about it. Okay, so there in Slay the Spire, each act has 3 bosses. Monster Train has sort of similar concepts to acts. They have like groups of 3 train segments, I guess they're called, where you make a left or right choice, and get stuff. And then you always have the same, you always have like Daedalus, and then the Fell Wings person, and then, or wait, maybe I've got that wrong. You've got Daedalus, and then, I forgot who the second one is, and then the last one's the Fell Wings person. And then the sort of capstone fights, the Daedalus and whoever the second one is, and then the Fell Wings person, have a little twist on them. So like, sometimes the Daedalus's bombs have a damage shield, and sometimes they trigger twice, right? Do you think, and like, the reason the Monster Train guys did that is they get to save on art, right? It's very clear that they tried to economize a lot on art. There's a lot of cards that, like, it's the same model with, like, different clothes on it. So they got some art savings, but I think it cost them a lot, because it's like, they don't get to, they lost an opportunity to, like, add a cool character to the game, right? It's like, they don't get to have a slime boss because it's like, they just have Daedalus. They don't get to have, get to have 3 characters there. They just have 1. So what do you guys think about comparing those two systems? So what are we doing here? So mutagenic strength is pretty obviously good here because we have the guaranteed turn 1 flechettes. We have the bottled flechettes, as well as drawing 9 cards on turn 1. We could transform 2 cards. Transform effects are pretty scary when you're a Runic Pyramid deck, because they could transform into bad things. On the flip side, we still have all 5 strikes, which is like 5 strikes too many. So this would get us down to 3 strikes too many. And then I guess we're out, because 3 strikes and you're out, Baseball. Or Jax. Jax is kind of nice because it gives us some strength scaling to run the flechettes with. It also costs 0, so After Image works with it. However, we kind of already have a scaling damage solution, which is Catalyst. So I'm a little bit skeptical about adding a second one. Yeah, that's an interesting... I'll read your comment out loud. It's easier to learn the flow of the game by having fewer bosses and counters to learn, but it reduces the complexity on the monster side. And you think complexity in Monster Train is in the deck building, customizing side of the game. Yeah, so that's sort of an upside and a downside, right? It's like you are able to predict the fight a lot better because it's always the same guy. But then it removes that there's different like fights, it's predictable, and that means that there's less interestingness. And I think a pretty reasonable criticism of Monster Train is that every fight feels pretty much the same. I mean, there's definitely some fights have there's a 1 health guy in the back and you need to try and assassinate him somehow, but pretty much every fight in the game is you need a tanky dude in front, and then you need a multi-attack person behind them, and then you need your numbers to get bigger, right? So, I don't know. I think that's, yeah. Something Slay the Spire has going for it is, fights last different amounts of turns. So it's some fights, it's you try and finish them off in 2 turns. And some fights, it's it drags on forever, but you've got lots of intangible, right? Monster Train doesn't get to have that because of its format. Although the boss does, go repeatedly. So there is a little bit of a twist on that. But by and large, it's all fights are the same length, which I think it contributes to them feeling a little bit samey. Also, while I'm complaining about Monster Train things, what the fuck? Ember Drain? Why is there an enemy that applies AoE Ember Drain? What was that about? That was a horrible decision. Ember Drain is one of the least fun mechanics I have ever seen in a game. And to have an enemy that AoE Ember Drains you is just shockingly unfun. Okay, Monster Train rant over. I think we're going to do mutagenic strength. Jax is pretty tempting, but I think trying to kill people on turn 1 is fixes something the deck's bad at, versus trying to make the deck good at a new thing. Alright, let's go turn into a vampire. It never works. Okay, we could heal for 12, we get full value out of the healing. If we go read a book, we could get Poison Cloud, which would be nice. I've never gotten buried under the curses. I always like exhaust them really aggressively. But yeah, that is interesting. We could get another catalyst, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff we get. We could get like a burst or a nightmare we'd be excited about. Yeah, I think we're almost always reading the book here. Plus, just like a poison card would be good. Or like escape plan, another footwork. There's just a ton of good stuff we need. There's a crippling cloud. I was calling this poison cloud earlier. There is a second catalyst here. Which makes this a pretty insane library. Well-laid plans here too. Never mind. We don't need well-laid plans. What am I talking about? Outmaneuver, which solves some energy problems that we have. Calculated gamble. If our hand gets full of wounds or something, could be nice. Piercing Wail is nice too, but we don't need to pick a common over a catalyst here. I think it's probably catalyst, right? Okay. I have not played Alchemize in any of the fights so far. Do my 4th fight with Alchemize and my first use of it. We're doing 42 damage right now. It's a lot of damage. Yeah, and they really throw the duplicate at you too. There's hell events on like a third of the floors. They're just like, did you upgrade a card really high? Great, make a copy of it. It's like, okay, cool. I don't know, it's a different game, right? But it is really powerful, the hell event thing. Okay, so I think we're definitely doing this. Yeah, I got the 5x dupe event in my first 2 runs in a row, and I was like, is this what it is every time? I was confused for a second. I was like, what is happening? Surely that can't be... I assumed these were random. Part of me wants to liquid memories and do that again on the other guy. So we could spend 2 energy killing him, and then we could Survivor. Or 2 cards. I guess one of them is... Oh wait, Backstab just kills him. Okay, let's just Backstab it. See what we get. Okay. We still have 4 energy. I guess let's look at another card. Probably don't need 4 defensive cards. I guess we're surviving the Ascender's Bane, because I want to defend and keep a defend. And then we'll keep Deadly Poison Catalyst for next turn, and Alchemize now. Alright, skill popped. So if we Deadly Poison Catalyst now, we take 6 and develop 10 poison. I think we can't wait any longer or else he's going to escape. We have 18 damage here, so he's basically at 11. But it takes us a whole turn to apply the 18 damage. And if he goes armor up next turn and we're like, oh shoot, I never applied that Catalyst Deadly Poison, I think we're too late. So I'll take the 6. Okay. We finally found the after image, but fight's over. Too late. Classic 2-potion Alchemist fight. Dash is nice, but I'm skeptical about picking a 2 energy card with a 3 energy Runic Pyramid deck. So maybe Slice instead. Slice does not go great with the Flechettes, but it does go well with the After Image. Maybe we just skip here. Yeah, I think I need block cards more than I need a Slice. I keep talking about this escape plan, but I haven't actually found one. Backflip, a little bit like escape plan. Panache is pretty fun with After Image. Play 5 cards, block for 5, as well as do 10 damage. Madness helps us do Runic Pyramid stuff a little bit better. We're about to go to an elite fight, so we could start it with 2 extra strength. And then with the mutagenic strength on turn 1, we'd have a 5 strength Flechettes. So we do 9 damage per skill on turn 1. It's pretty spicy. It's probably kills a Slaver if we get Slavers. Slavers are pretty scary too. I don't think that's a terrible idea. So then it would be like Sling of Courage, Madness card remove or something. Or maybe Terror card remove. Not a big Sling fan. These relics are terrible. And I have a bunch of money. I'm about to go to an elite fight. We could buy a Flex Potion too for maximum burst damage. So then it would be like Sling of Courage, Flex Spot, card remove. That wastes a little bit of money. I think I like it though. Not a big fan of buying either Madness or Panache, so. Alright, it is Slavers. Do we kill one on turn 1? So this is 36 damage. It's more with the Flex Spot, it's 20 more. Becomes 56. Yeah, we could kill 2, which seems good. Alright, well that's a good start. Is that a good end too? That's a good end. We'll just end there. Okay, I might have underestimated how good that burst damage was. I'm glad that I bought it. All that attack is a little bit incompatible with Runic Pyramid. Cloak and Dagger is super good with After Image. If it was a Cloak and Dagger Plus, I would pick it immediately. It's good with Flechettes too. We do need some block cards. I think Cloak and Dagger fits the bill. It needs an upgrade, and the deck needs a lot of upgrades at this point. Catalyst needs an upgrade, After Image needs an upgrade, Other Catalyst needs an upgrade, Deadly Poison and Balancing Flask both need upgrades, Footwork needs an upgrade. Bottled Flechettes needs an upgrade. Yeah, ton of stuff to do. Maybe we need to find an Apotheosis, but I think Cloak and Dagger is good enough to go in. Speaking of getting upgrades, let's get one right now. Is it the Flechettes? Is it the After Image? A Catalyst, perhaps? I think it's the flechettes. That's currently the strongest thing the deck's doing, is the turn 1 Wombo combo. So let's make that lethal a higher percentage of the time. Turn 1 After Image. We only have 2 skills this time. We could skill pot for another one, I suppose. Maybe just holding on to flechettes and letting mutagenic strength expire, but waiting until we have more skills in hand is prudent here. Let's start with After Image and then play Dagger Throw. Maybe we could find another skill. We did. It's 27 plus 21 is 48. 48 plus 14 is 62. It's not lethal, but it's pretty close. I think I'll let this one go, and I'll hold this one. Bouncing Flask is not great in the fight, and I would like to exhaust the Sender's Bane. It's 20 damage, 20 plus 4. Not quite lethal. Okay, let's go for block then. Okay, we did it. We found the block. This is doing 24. We're not going to get attacked, so we might as well just fire off some attacks here. Now the beatings begin. They're hitting us for 26. Maybe we should have dodged and rolled last turn when we weren't under attack. I think we can just wait a little bit until they're not both attacking. This hits for 21, which is a pretty convenient number. And then I think we'll just double up the catalyst here. That'll get her eventually. Okay, we got all the side quests done. Blade Dance Plus. Really good with After Image. Pretty bad against Time Lord. It's a skill that does damage, if we're looking for more damage and things that combo with flechettes. It's also really good on the Crazy Turn 1, because we have the extra strength. Predator's probably bad with Runic Pyramid. I think we need more block than more attack, though. I mean, it's cute to add more skills to the deck that do damage, but I don't think we really need to. Blade Dance is a trap. Bottled Lightning too, huh? Well, it's hard to imagine not wanting Bottled Lightning. I'm not sure what we want to put it on. It's like the most predictable turn 1 ever. We've got like, what's it called? We've got bottled flechettes. We've got backstab. We're gonna have After Image. We're gonna have a skill too. Is it Alchemize or Catalyst or something else completely? Maybe we skip it. Maybe it's not good. No, I think we take it. And maybe it's Alchemize. That at least gives me a way to a guaranteed side quest completion. Maybe it's Catalyst. If we get a... The thing about bottling something is, like, we're guaranteed to be holding catalysts eventually, right? Because we have Runic Pyramid. She is considering jumping up onto the desk. She doesn't want me to pick her up, so I won't do it. Come here. So what we want is to pick something that we want before Catalyst. So I guess maybe Deadly Poison? Yeah, I think we'll bottle a Deadly Poison. Maybe we're supposed to skip this. Somebody made a pun about you, Coconut. Are you a catalyst? Maybe a catalyst for loud meows. Yeah, I think I will bottle a Deadly Poison. Plus, thematically, that makes a lot of sense. There's a bottle here. Poison coming out of it. Need I say more? I don't think so. Alright, I think we're looking for bites. Can I have bites, please? You're not a vampire. All these cards are bad. So I think we skip them. Did we buy Cloak and Dagger ever? You've walked into my mouse area. I think we just skip this shop. Ooh, Snecko Skull, that's amazing. Okay. Now we just need like a Noxious Ooze. Hey, we did get bites. Well, great. Okay, so do we want another fight? Another question mark or a fight? This question mark could be Thwack. It could be Red Mask Gang. Those are sort of the scary options. It could be Apparitions, which we probably don't want, considering we just took bites. What else could it be? Ancient Writing, which just got a little bit worse. It upgrades all our defense, which is pretty important. Yeah, hallway fight. We're bad at hallway fights, so let's avoid them. Nope, can't avoid them. Snake Plants here like, did you say you're bad at hallway fights? What about really hard hallway fights? Backstab Flechette's Deadly Poison Catalyst seems like a good start. It would be nice to get After Image down this turn so that the Frail doesn't affect us so much next turn. We could skip Flechette's. I hope to draw more skills next turn. But then we're blowing Deadly Poison and Catalyst, which are two of our skills. So I don't think so. Backstab first for malleable reasons. Okay. That should get him. And now we're just trying to block while the poison kills him. Oh wait, no. Maybe we have lethal? Bouncing Flask is going to apply 4 poison 3 times, so that's 12. And yep, that's lethal. Alright. I guess we'll get him with a bite while we got him here. Easy peasy. Maybe hallway fights aren't hard. I don't think we wanted any of these. Sucker Punch is actually kind of interesting. We could use some more weak. We don't have a good source of weak. We've just got the one neutralize. I think we skip here. Yeah, you just book of stabbing. Lots of value out of this Flechette's. You know what's silly? We could probably kill him right now. If we Duplication Potion Flechettes, Liquid Memories, Duplication Potion Flechettes again, I think that's lethal. Each Flechettes is 55 damage, and we'd be doing 4 copies of it, yeah. That's like 220 damage. So like a halfway point where I don't spend all those resources, but I still do something. So we're definitely going to Flechettes. Which of these resources are we trying to save for Champ, and which one are we replacing with Alchemize right now? Also, getting hit for 14 is not very comfortable. And we can Alchemize on the turn when we spend 3 potions, and maybe we get a potion back. Alright, let's dupe the first one and then Alchemize and see what we get. Actually, if we Alchemize, then we don't get the 55 damage on the next one. I guess we'll just save this Duplication Potion. We'll blow the Liquid Memories to get out of the fight. Because Liquid Memories and Deadly Poison kills him. And we'll get another potion. Hey, we got our Liquid Memories back. Okay. So we only spent 1 potion to kill him on turn 1, and we got it replaced with Block Potion. Very nice. Well, that worked out well. Our turn 1s are pretty off the chain. Setup is actually pretty good with Runic Pyramid. We don't really have anything expensive, but if we did, like, we could set up a wraith form or something, and just like make it cost 0 forever. It costs us some draws, but draws are kind of cheap with Runic Pyramid. And it costs 0, so it just gets out of hand. Plus there's abusive stuff you can do with like backflips, and it's also really good with the escape plan that I keep talking about and we haven't been offered. Could discount Bouncing Flask with it. I don't think we're taking dash or expertise, so I think it's either setup or skip. I almost never take setup though, because it's very draw expensive. You have to draw the setup, you have to draw the card that you want to set up, and then you have to draw the card after it has been set up. So it costs 3 draws to discount something to 0. And I value a card draw at approximately 1 energy. It's like a little bit less than 1 energy. It's like 0.7 or something. So setup says it costs 0, but it really costs 2.1. But in context, it's somewhat less because Runic Pyramid makes draw less valuable. It's also a skill for Flechettes. Okay, we'll take it. Alright, we get another upgrade here, obviously. Deadly Poison wants it because it's bottled now. Catalyst wants it because we're about to fight Champ. After Image wants it because then it becomes innate, and that's nice. I think Deadly Poison wins. Okay. I don't think we're going to be killing Champ on turn 1. We don't have access to After Image. We do have Orichalcum, which we shouldn't forget about, but we don't want to take 12, I don't think. So this does 36, this one does 21, or 28. 36 plus 28, there's no reason to count damage here, he's at 400. If we play both Flechettes and Backstab, then we can like footwork out a defend. That only blocks for 7. You can like block pot. Blocks for 11. Seems okay. We overblock for 1, but that's okay. We also get maximum value of our mutagenic strength, so that's pretty nice. I would like to have gotten poison ticking that turn, but Champ has turns where he doesn't attack, so we'll probably just get it set up on one of those turns. After Image and Neutralize are almost certainly happening, so let's just play those. Probably setting up Catalyst. We don't need it in hand right now, so might as well just take it later. And I think we're playing the Defend. And I guess this is the time when we do Deadly Poison. Maybe we want to wait on Deadly Poison. Yeah, actually we want to Deadly Poison as close as possible to when we're shuffling, so that we can like Deadly Poison, shuffle Deadly Poison, and then start Catalysting. Because our only sources of poison are Deadly Poison and Balancing Flask. So I think we're going to wait at least a turn. Plus we have Bite Health to reclaim. Okay. We could just Bouncing Flask, Deadly Poison, Catalyst now, and save the second Catalyst for using with Duplication Potion to break him. That does 12, that does 8, so that's 20 poison, and this would set him to 41. And then if we got the other Catalyst next turn, he would go from 40 to 81 and then to 161. 161 is enough to kill him, for sure. We're kind of relying on drawing the other Catalyst next turn, though. And if we don't, it ends up being kind of bad. Let's see, is it bad? Because we do, we set him up to 20, and then he goes to 40. No, we can wait 2 turns if he's at 40, because he goes to 310, and then he doesn't break next turn. Okay, we do take a bunch of damage. We take 20 damage. Yeah, Skill Pot could do it too, that's true. Or we could actually... Oh no, Liquid Memories doesn't work on Catalyst. Yeah, I think we go now. We take 20, but it's we'll survive, I think. Okay, yeah, let's try and block too. Maybe we get like a leg sweep. That's not a leg sweep. I guess this one blocks for anything. So I'll take that. Super important that we make hand room to draw Catalyst next turn. That absolutely has to happen. So let's try and draw it now. We failed. Probably don't need 4 bites. And then the Survivor makes hand room pretty well. So let's Survivor away a bite. And then do the side quest, I guess. Come at you? Okay, I will. Wow, we drew all the poison. That's unexpected. I think just Duplication Potion Catalyst is enough. So he goes from 39 to 79, and then from 79 to 159. 159 takes that twice and dies. Yeah, that seems fine. And then we play like Cloak and Dagger, Shiv, and Defend. Alright, good fight. Now we just bite him as much as we can. Try to get some health back. Grand Finale is pretty good when you've got Runic Pyramid. I would not count out Grand Finale here. We have some control over how many cards are in our draw pile. We have quite a bit of control over how many cards we draw. Like if we want to draw 4 cards, we can just leave 6 cards in hand. So Grand Finale seems pretty nice. We can also use Setup to control the number of cards in the draw pile. And Dagger Throw. Unload seems terrible with Runic Pyramid and Catalyst. Die to Die is pretty nice. Die to Die is a card for sure. But pretty excited about Grand Finale. I don't know if we can really pull that off. And it's going to like sneak into my turn 1 and stay in hand for forever. But I think we can do that pretty reliably, like first shuffle and every shuffle thereafter. So I think it's probably going to be Grand Finale. I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick before we pick Grand Finale. And I'll be right back. Grand Finale. Alright. Black Star, Philosopher's Stone, or Empty Cage. Empty Cage is pretty appealing. Bad cards are very deleterious in the context of Runic Pyramid because they get stuck in your hand forever. We don't have a ton of bad cards, to be honest, though. I guess we would get rid of like a Defend and maybe a Bite. I feel like I have slightly more bites than I'm comfortable having. It also makes Grand Finale happen faster. And a little bit more reliably. We could possibly remove the second Flechettes. We've got a bottled one, so I'm not really stressing the first one. We don't really need two. Yeah, I think Bite is better than Flechettes. So I think we'll take out a Flechettes and a Defend. If we take Empty Cage. Blackstar, we've got a pretty healthy amount of relics. There's definitely some good ones still. Things like the Specimen would be really nice. We do have to fight an Act 3 Elite because we don't have any keys yet. Philosopher's Stone. Sometimes we blow people up on turn 1. Philosopher's Stone helps us play larger energy combos, but we just added like a setup and a grand finale. I don't think we really need a ton more energy. We haven't had too much problem emptying our hand either. So this is a little bit suicidal. I just don't think this does enough. Getting one relic later is like pretty unimpressive. So it's like 1 or 2 relics since we're getting from the Act 2 boss. Maybe 3. I guess technically you get an extra relic from the Act 4 elites too, but nah. Let's take Empty Cage. Get rid of the unbottled Flechettes. And maybe Dagger Throw. Maybe Dagger Throw is worse than a Defend. Dagger Throw helps set up Grand Finale, I think. Grand Finale is a weird card because it's very hard to estimate how the deck is going to feel. You really need to like play it a couple of times before you're like, I see what the problem is. We need to do this thing to fix it. Where's the Mega? There he is. Very late. Floor 48 Mega. We have to go through one of these 3 elites to get to him. Probably going to go to this one, because the other ones have a lot of fights in front of them. And this guy's got some question marks instead. And a fire before the elite. I also just don't want to go to 2 shops in a row. This shop does seem pretty appealing, though. But we can just go to the Act 4 shop. It's not a big deal if we make it there. We could go fight question mark fight instead of fight question mark. Yeah, I think that's probably better, because then we might get a rare relic from Mind Bloom or something. Alright, Flechettes is hitting for 36 here. We can only block for 5. Which is less than I would hope for. Alright, I think Flechettes is happening, just because it's turn 1, might as well. And backstab as well. I guess Defend double Bite. Maybe we save the other bite for when we've lost more health. Nah, we'll just do it now. Is Deadly Poison double Catalyst lethal? This applies 8 poison, this doubles it to 17. Yes, it is lethal. Do we skip Alchemize then? Yeah, I think I'd prefer not to take 21, and any other route is going to lead to me taking 21. Okay. We do actually take... Oh wait, we can set up the burn. That's what setup's for. Blocking for 2. We got a potion anyway. Even though we spurned the potions, they came to us. Dodge and Roll is a card... I think we're passing here. I talked about Sucker Punch earlier. Bane doesn't do enough. It is kind of neat on turn 1. But we don't reliably have poison on turn 1. Turn 1 because of the mutagenic strength. Winding Halls. Okay. Madness is not that bad. Wraith is pretty bad. Wraith is kind of terrible here. 2 max HP is actually pretty damaging too. Because we're at 40. Losing 8 is not nothing either. Takes us to 28. We might encounter like Darklings or some fight that we can manipulate to bite our way back to full health. But I'm not actually sure we can manipulate the Darklings fight that well. When we're like online, we have 2 dexterity and afterimage. So we can block for like, I don't know, probably 15 per turn. That's probably enough to manipulate Darklings if we survive to that phase of the fight. So I think we take Madness. Madness also helps with clearing out the hand for Runic Pyramid, although we haven't had a problem with that, as I've said repeatedly. Adding 2 cards to the deck makes Grand Finale way slower. Maybe we just lose the 2 max HP. I'm really not big in the Madness. We don't have basically anything to discount. Although it does make Afterimage better. We can like pick more card draw if we pick Madnesses. Nah, I'll just lose the max HP. Right, Darklings? No. We'll talk about fights that are difficult to bite to full health in. This is among the hardest. We can kill him, 45 damage. And then Deadly Poison one of these spiky boys. I guess I'll try and get 2 max HP back now, or 2 HP back now, before I kill him. It's going to be very difficult to bite the spikers. And I guess develop footwork. I'll block enough that I can play a backstab now. Setup is probably going to go on Bouncing Flask whenever that shows up. Okay, let's alchemize, see what that's doing. Okay. We can't really dagger throw. I guess we'll Survivor. Get rid of a bite so we can keep drawing cards. And we have 6 cards in hand, so that's a little bit too much. I guess we'll just Catalyst this guy. Alright. Maybe we should practice how we set up for Grand Finale next turn. We don't have any card draw in there, and no card draw in hand either. I guess Dagger Throw is card draw. So we try to get our hand size down to 5 and Dagger Throw this turn. That's how we would do it. Alright, I think we can do that. We're not actually going to Dagger Throw next turn, but... we can't use Setup or else we mess up the number of cards we're drawing. And then I guess we'd have to neutralize if we wanted to get down to 5 cards. Seems like we need a little bit more card draw to make Grand Finale work. Okay. Oh, we got an extra card draw. I guess I took a damage. Afterimage last card. Thanks, Afterimage. Deflect is great. I've been looking for a Deflect all my life. Let's take that. Dexpot's probably better than something. Probably better than Thorn's Pot, maybe? Yes, or act, huh? Sometimes these draw cards, sometimes they cost 0. A lot of the time they exhaust. I think we're all in on this. I think we're spending 10 health. But that's great, that's great. That's terrible. Yes. No. Ever? Maybe. Probably finesse. There's Apotheosis, I talked about that. Is it actually good enough to pick? If we upgrade it, it only costs 1. We could pretty reliably play Apotheosis before we play Catalyst, so then taking Apotheosis and upgrading it would save us 2 other upgrades. I think I'm into it. Alright, so let's take... We're taking all 3, I think. Apotheosis, Finesse, and... not sure about Dark Shackles versus Good Instincts. If we were up against Awakened one, I think Dark Shackles would have an advantage. Because of the play the powers and then reduce his strength to when you transform him thing that you can do. I think Dark Shackles has an advantage just regularly too. Like if we fight Darklings, Dark Shackles is good. Dark Shackles applies a debuff, so it makes it easier to poison people. I should start thinking about Donudeka, because that's the boss we actually do know we're fighting. And they have a bunch of artifact charges, and artifact charges are actually like a really big problem for this deck, because the only way we're killing people is poison, and we only have like 2 cards that apply poison, and like both of those are going to get negated. So we like really need to find a solution for that before we get there. Hey, there it is. We found it. It was Noxious Fumes the whole time. We also have Nightmare available. Okay, we're buying Noxious Fumes for sure. Alright, and the deck is kind of full, so we'd like to probably remove something from it. And like add some backflips or something. We could pick Nightmare, and Nightmare Catalyst, and then we'd have 5 copies of Catalyst. It seems really unnecessary. We could Nightmare and Alchemize in case we run out of potions. Nightmare definitely gets stuck in the hand though, which is kind of problematic. Maybe Prepared. It's card draw negative, but helps set up Grand Finale. And we have an Apotheosis, which makes it quite a bit better. Let's card remove. I think a defend. We've got deflect and finesse now, so we get some sort of lower cost defensive options. We really need a backflip. Maybe Happy Flower. Get that extra 1/3 of an energy per turn. It's either Happy Flower or Nightmare at this point. Can't have both. I think Happy Flower is probably better than Nightmare. We've already got 2 copies of Catalyst. We don't need to get 5 for any reason. I don't think we want any of these. Maybe we should have taken the Panacea, because we generate a lot of potions, and we could have negated the downsides of them. I think we're pretty happy here, though. We could save $95 to buy a red mask or something. Yeah, I don't think I want any of these, is the real problem. Maybe Chaos Potion is better than Energy Potion. Is Chaos Potion actually good? It kinda is. Like, what is bad that Chaos Potion could hit? It could waste Dark Shackles on a bad target, I guess. It could bite a Spiker. But just don't play Chaos Potion into a Spiker. Yeah, I think I'll take a Chaos Potion over an Energy Potion. But just because I have extra money. And nothing to do with it. Okay, so we have to go left to get to the Mega Elite. I would love to take an upgrade on Apotheosis. I don't want to die, though. $12 health. I think this is probably our last chance. We probably need to rest here to prepare for the Mega Elite, and then this is going to be our recall. Alright, I will give it a shot. This could result in losing the run, but I think it increases the win rate a little bit. We have bites. We could make it. Okay, Giant Head's pretty okay. It's got a lot of health, but not enough to stand up to that many catalysts. Let's start with this, and then bite, backstab, flechettes, I think. Oh wait, we'll develop footwork too, and then skip a bite. Let's draw a card, try and find something better to do this turn. Just more bites, I guess. Let's get Cloak and Dagger out of the hand, develop some slow, and play some bites. Do we play Neutralize just to draw a card? Or do we save Neutralize for when he is actually attacking? I think we play it to draw a card. Should have played it earlier in the turn when the slow triggers were being set up. There's nothing we can do about that now. Okay, we have a 4 energy turn, so we can block with Survivor. I don't think we're ready to play Catalysts. Let's play Dagger Throw. We're not taking good advantage of the slow triggers, but I care about the information more. Okay, we got Apotheosis. Interesting. We don't need 3 copies of Defend right now. Alright, so let's play Apotheosis. So we could play Deadly Poison double Catalyst to go to 8, and then 25, and then 76. It's not quite enough, actually. Okay, so we need to play Bouncing Flask before we play the double Catalyst. And ideally we would have played Noxious Fumes on turn 1, but that didn't happen. We need to play one of these potions so that we can play Alchemize. If we play Distilled Chaos and get Bouncing Flask, we're pretty happy. The only real miss is Dark Shackles. I guess Grand Finale is kind of a miss too. Speaking of Grand Finale, how many cards should we be drawing this turn? There's no draw in here, so we can't do it next turn. We have to do it over 2 turns, which means we need to miss 1 draw. We're not catalysting this turn, so we might as well set up a catalyst. Well, we're definitely not playing Distilled Chaos then. So I guess I'll just play Defend, and that way we draw 5. I'll use the energy on Deadly Poison. Just in case we need it. Alright. So now we actually need to block. Chaos Potion plays 3 of these. I think that's probably happening. Dark Shackles is good. Deflect is good. Bouncing Flask and Noxious Fumes are good. Bite's good. All good stuff. However, if we do that, then we only want to draw 2 cards next turn. And our hand size is currently 9 with Ascender's Bane, so we'd have to play 0 cards if we want a Grand Finale. Grand Finale is not really a big part of this fight, though, so I don't think we care. Let's play Distilled Chaos first. Okay, we've got the Bouncing Flask, which means it's time for the Catalysts. Okay, great. And we're mostly blocked out. So it goes from 23 to 70, and then to 211. So he dies in 2 turns. Sounds great. Where do I sign up? Okay, we're blocked out. We've got a bite in. Maybe we can get another bite. We can. Okay. Good fight. Preserved Insect. Well, that's going to be useful for the Mega Elite and the Act 4 Elite. A little bit late for it to be great, but, you know. We definitely don't want any of these. We have a lot of trouble applying Weak. Reflex is terrible, and Finisher is... we don't do that. Alright. We've got a turn 1 Noxious Fumes. That's nice. We also have 5 energy for some reason. Oh, it's because Lantern and Happy Flower both triggered. I did notice at the beginning of the fight, like, all my relics lit up. So, I guess that's why. We could do some damage. I'm pretty happy if he's attacking us for 16, though. So I kind of want to leave him alone. But I don't think that's practical. Alright, we're playing this for sure. Do we Deadly Poison Catalyst now? If we do, then when he goes up to 8 and then 17, that's not very much. So I don't think we do that. Let's see what the next attack is. 27. I don't like that one, so let's change him. Oh wait, we want to do Flechettes last, because of the malleable implications. Okay, he's back to 16. We like him there, so we'll leave him there. We take a little bit of damage, unless we want to spend a potion or something, but... Nope. Okay. So now if we Deadly Poison him, he goes to 11 and then 23. It's better. Still not amazing. Let's Dagger Throw and see what we get. Alchemize. It's not useful. Maybe we should block with Dark Shackles this turn. I don't think Grand Finale is happening this fight. That seems fine. Let's get the poison rolling. I know it's not amazing, but we have another catalyst to draw. So it doesn't have to be amazing. Alright, I definitely don't want to get hit for 39, so let's see what else he's got. I don't think I want to curse either. It's not 39, but it's still a lot. But I don't think we have much we could say about it at this point. We could backstab him to get one more shift. But this is among the lowest damage attacks. It's just because we're vulnerable. It's so much. Dexpot, Defend, Deflect blocks for... oh, we're not frail. Okay, so it blocks for 7 plus 6 is 13. So then we take 11. We could also Liquid Memories a Cloak and Dagger. let's do this. No, not that. Liquid Memory seems like a big resource to spend while I'm not taking 11 damage. We have bites. We can take 11 every once in a while. We don't need to discount any of these to 0, but I think I will. Actually, no. If we discount something, we draw 1 fewer cards. I would like to draw After Image and Footwork and Apotheosis and Catalyst and Bouncing Flask. Okay, there's the other Catalyst. If we Catalyst him now, he goes to 82? Yeah, 82 seems like a big number, so then we just have to block out this turn. Okay, so let's do that. It's 55. I don't know where I got 82 from, but they have the same import of he's dead in 2 turns. Let's weaken him, see how much damage he's doing. 13. Our max block here is Footwork Defend. So I guess we'll do that. And then bite for a little bit of health. Take 4, take 26. And win the fight. We have no way to draw cards, right? Yeah, just alchemize. Okay. We get our deck spot back. Oh, I could have upgraded everything and then played the bite. That would have gotten me 1 more health. I don't think we want any of these. Outmaneuvers, kind of a thing. But no, I think we need like more card draw. We need like a backflip, as I keep saying, and an escape plan. Alright, this is our last shot at the Sapphire Key, potentially, unless this guy is a Sapphire Key. So we can't really afford to take Turnip. I would really like to take Turnip, but I think we can't. This guy's super dangerous. Flechette saves us this turn. But then what of the future? We'll save Neutralize for a later turn, ideally a turn when he's sitting for like 100. What do we think about like Deadly Poison, Liquid Memories, Deadly Poison Catalyst right now? Is that like too scaredy pants of a play? We can just do that next turn if that's the play. It does cost 2 energy though, and we have extra energy to spend now. We should spend one of these potions at least. But which one? What's the beta art for Survivor look like? Is that Fargo? It's a Fargo reference, right? We can dodge and roll. That helps us a little bit next turn. Not much. So that's something we can do with our energy. It seems like the rest of the stuff we want to do with energy is Deadly Poison Catalyst. So I'm going to Deadly Poison, and then it's just a question of do we Liquid Memories it back before we play it again? I think the answer is yes. It's been a while since I got Beta Heart. I believe the answer is you kill the heart with a character. Okay, so he's taking 32, he's hitting for 51, or 50, that means we need to hit him for 18. Apotheosis Backstab basically does that by itself, so that's nice. We'll also bite and develop Noxious Fumes. Keep that poison growing. I think the rest of these we want to save. Okay, we need to do 25 damage this turn. Bouncing Flask plus does 16. And does it in a really nice way. So we need to do 9 more. We can bite for 8. Not quite enough. I guess we could just dagger throw. That is enough. Or we could like play neutralize or something. Let's play dagger throw. We get more information from that too. Let's get rid of setup. Maybe we should have played Survivor this turn, because if we could draw 5 cards this turn, we would have a 2-turn setup for Grand Finale. Looks like we're mainly blocking with Poison though, so I don't think we need Grand Finale that much. Okay, we're blocking for 54 plus the 6 from Orichalcum. So we're blocking for 60, which need to do 10 damage. We can just bite twice for that. If we can set up a 2-turn Grand Finale, that would be nice. We have 8 cards in hand now. So if we just end turn, we only draw 2, and then we play 5 cards to draw 5 to set it up. Yeah, that seems good. So 3, 6, 8, yeah, okay. Alright, to block this turn, Catalyst does it. Okay, but then we have to play Grand Finale, because we haven't played Grand Finale yet. Doesn't actually matter in this fight, because we've already won. But, we just have to prove to ourselves that we can do it. And we got to full health, too. That's nice. Grand Finale. Yeah, this deck works pretty well. The Grand Finale bit of it is pretty weird. Terror makes Grand Finale hit harder. I don't think that's really something we're interested in. I think we're skipping these. Acrobatics is some of the draw. I've been asking for a draw for forever, but I've passed on all the acrobatics. I've been assuming that I don't have enough energy to support something like that. But maybe that's not true. Maybe with like setup and Apotheosis being upgraded, we can actually afford that. I think I'll take Acrobatics, and then later if we see like an energy card, we could pick it. This is gonna get stuck in my hand a lot though. Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's good, I don't know. Hard to say. It seems like it got way better after the Mind Bloom event. Because these all cost 0 and stuff. Yeah, I think I'll give it a shot. Helps a lot for setting up Grand Finale. That's pretty valuable. Okay, I predicted I was going to need to rest here, but I was wrong. So I think I'll recall now. I still need a ton of upgrades, but like the only one that's really pressing is After Image. The rest of the cards can just get upgraded by Apotheosis, I don't care. And we have to recall now, because we're going to be right after the Mega Elite at this fire, so we might need to rest. And now we're at full health, so I'll take a key. The Maw. Turn 1 Apotheosis. Okay. I guess I should have Flechettes first. I won't restart the fight, but I almost did. Do we Deadly Poison now? Doesn't seem like it hurts. We need to spend an energy, and it's either Deadly Poison or Bite. I might want to get health back later. I guess I'll backstab too. There's no reason not to. Noxious Fume is a good start on the poison thing. Probably using Neutralize and or Dark Shackles this turn. Let's start here. Okay, we need to block for 7 more. Defend does that. Let's dig a little bit. Let's see if we can do anything else interesting. Only really need 1 copy to defend. Okay, and ending with 5 cards in hand, so getting max draw after we played Acrobatics. It's a good sign. It means the energy balance is about right. Alright, Survivor blocks out. Probably want to start getting Catalysts down. If we play both of those right now, he goes to 31 and then to 94. It seems like it's going to be lethal very soon. And then Survivor helps us draw some cards. There's no card draw in here. So we need to draw only 4 cards, or only 8 cards over the next 2 turns if we want to finish them off with Grand Finale. So we'll just end this turn with 6 cards in hand, and then we'll do the same next turn, ideally. Okay, he's given us a pass here, so we can just do whatever we want to get to 6 cards. In fact, we could just press end turn twice, but I'd rather win with Grand Finale. 3, 6, 7, yeah, so 1 more card. Okay, great. Oh right, I forgot about Alchemized. Let's get rid of this potion. This card's better. Yeah, Fire Potion. Okay. Neat. Best way to end a fight, for sure. Nope to all these, for sure. Don't want any of that noise. We've been just chock full of potions here. I think we're just going to buy 1. These potions are pretty decent. Probably the worst one is the Strength Potion. There's a pretty decent argument to buy 3 potions here, though, because we could get, like, Ghost in a Jar or something. Potions are definitely more valuable than gold. We could also get, like, Fruit Juice. Yeah, okay, I'll take 3. They are all bad except for Duplication Potion, so... maybe Distilled Chaos is better than... Maybe it's better than Fire Potion? Fire Potion starts to scale down pretty badly at the end of Act 3, which is where we are. So let's get rid of these 2. Take this and that. Okay. And Mega Elite time. Alright, it is Repromancer, but we have our secret weapon, Gremlin Horn, here. So it should be okay. We also have a 66 damage Flechettes. It's probably lethal. Let's see. No, it's only 120 with Duplication Potion, but that's a lot. 120 plus 16 is 136. Yeah, that's lethal. Do we just do that? Hard to argue that it's not worth it. We can't kill a dagger without incurring some risk that we don't have lethal. We could kill both daggers, obviously. Yeah, I think it's worth it. It's just a Duplication Potion. Duplication Potions are good, of course, but... This is our Mega Elite fight. If we got to play Apotheosis with it, I'd feel a lot better. We might get to play Apotheosis if we Dagger Throw. Actually, we have Dagger Throw and Acrobatics. So after we play Flechettes, we can play Deflect and Acrobatics to see if we can find whatever it's called. That one. Alchemize. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Flechettes do scale with strength. Yeah, it does. It does. Whatever, 6 damage, some number of times, which is weird. It's. I think I prefer the Flechettes style strength scaling to the like Spirit Shield style. I don't really understand why the Spirit Shield style exists in the game, or why they coexist together in the same game. It seems like an overall weird decision. Okay. Got a bottle. We got all bottles? I've never gotten all 3 bottles before. I can't believe this happened. We got our potion refreshed as well. There's a backflip. I specifically have been asking for a backflip for like 10 floors. So I will take one. Bottle Tornado has to be good, right? Do we just take the upgrade on Afterimage? And just bottle it. We could bottle Noxious Fumes, actually. Noxious Fumes bottled is kind of insane. Yeah, I think bottling Noxious Fumes is pretty important for the Donideka fight. Plus, we can actually just naturally upgrade Afterimage. Since we finished that fight at full health, we've got 1 more campfire. We've already got the key, so... yep. Bottled Tornado. We got them all. I can't believe we got all the bottles. Bottled Flame. Bottled Tornado. Wow, that's insane. I'm so blown away by that. They're all uncommons, too. I've gotten Shuriken and Kunai a bunch of times, which is 2 uncommons. But getting a set of 3 uncommons is pretty outlandish. I have gotten the whole boat cycle, too. The, like, Anchor, Horn Cleat, Captain's Wheel cycle. But this is my first time getting all the bottles. Look at that. I'm so proud. My little bottle babies. Alright, I already talked about this decision, so we're just going to take the Afterimage upgrade, unless I am crazy and missed something. Nope, none of these other upgrades matter. Footwork would be kind of neat, but no. I wish I could go back and change my my Bottled Lightning. The Deadly Poison is fine, kinda, but like it would be so much better if it were Apotheosis. Alright. We got the Afterimage. We got the first 5 cards in our hand are here because they're innate. This is bottled, that's innate, that's bottled, that's innate. All these cards, guaranteed. Okay, so we probably want to wait on Bouncing Flask until after Noxious Fumes has removed all the artifact charges. Same for Deadly Poison. So this turn's probably Afterimage and then like Flechettes. And then some other stuff. We need to block for 24 as well. Which is not super possible here. I guess Finesse and Footwork might get us there. So then we're probably like Noxious Fumes, Footwork, Defend is where our energy goes. And then also play Finesse. I guess let's play Finesse first. Okay. Yep. Noxious Fumes defends. We could Backstab to block for 1. Or we could Distilled Chaos to block for 3. Distilled Chaos has a pretty big miss here, though, in... yeah, actually, with 2 Catalysts, we can't Finesse. 2 Catalysts and a Dark Shackles are the cards that would get wasted. Also, Alchemize. Well, no. Does that work? If you alchemize in the middle of Distilled Chaos, do you get the new potion? I don't know. Finchy is very excited about Donut. Lots of emotes related to donuts. We do have bites as well, so we should we can bite a donut. It's something that I'm excited about doing in my personal life. My private affairs are mostly dominated by eating donuts, I have to admit. Probably should have drank the deck spot. I think I'm actually going to restart the fight so I can drink the deck spot. Sorry about that. Just wasn't thinking about it. But clearly, like, this is one of the biggest challenges in the run, so we should use a deck spot. Is there anything else we're trying to use? We can choose all the other things later. Okay. We're playing the same line. We're doing it with a little bit more decks. Okay, so now we're in a slightly different place. We're currently taking 5 damage. Backstab blocks for 1. Backstab also, just this turn, has more strength attached to it, so I think we do it. There's no real downside to using it. So, there goes. I guess if we waited for Apotheosis, it actually gets even more damage, because it goes from 11 to 15, so it gets a 4 damage upgrade, whereas we only had 3 strength from mutagenic strength. So there is actually a downside. Darn. Flechettes hits really hard this turn. It's for 30. And that's nice. I like it. We can block for 18 and take 12. Okay, so I think we're going to Flechette's double defend bite. I think that's the turn. We can't use Distilled Chaos. We could use Power Potion. Power Potion, we could find another copy of Afterimage, which would be good. Another Footwork would also be good. As Silent, I generally save Power Potion for situations when I would want to play Wraith form if I see it. So I don't think we want to play it right now. We are losing some health, though. Which is not good. We take 8 damage, but we gained 2 health during the turn, so it's a net -6. Deflect Cloak and Dagger, do some blocking. It's time to start thinking about Grand Finale if we can. We have a backflip and an acrobatics, so there's 5 draw in here. Setup is 1- draw if we need it. So we can get it in 2 turns with a backflip, or 2 turns with a acrobatics and a setup. Those both seem fine. Where's my Apotheosis? Rumble, rumble. General complaining sounds. Okay. Taking 9 damage. We can bite for a little bit of that health back. But I would say we are struggling a little bit in this fight. Primarily because artifact charges. How do you deal with them? Okay. Now that they're gone, we can neutralize him. Super useful right now. Probably want to Survivor. Maybe Dark Shackles this turn, too. Dark Shackles is a little bit less effective against targets who are weakened. So I'm not a huge fan of that. There is a line where we could play Grand Finale now. We could backflip, draw Acrobatics, play it, and then Distilled Chaos the last 3 cards. I think that works. Actually, no, we don't have hand room. We'd have to play Setup, and then it doesn't work. We could set up a backflip and then Distilled Chaos to play it. There is still a Catalyst, though, so I don't think we can afford that. Okay, so let's play backflip. Okay, so now if we can draw 5 cards at the end of this turn, we get there. But we can't play Setup. So we can play like Apotheosis, Survivor. Let's see, that leaves us too many cards in hand, right? So that's -3 cards. We've got 3, 6, 9, 10 cards in hand. We are full. We could set it up with Distilled Chaos next turn. If we set it up so that we draw exactly 2 cards. We can draw exactly 2 cards if we play Survivor. And that also blocks out perfectly. We don't get to play Apotheosis, but that's not a huge deal. Okay, so we should have 8 cards in hand. 3, 6, 8. Yep. So we'll draw 2, and then we'll Distill Chaos. Oh no! If the card is Dagger Throw. Oh no! Either way, either of these are in there. It doesn't work. Okay, wait. So maybe we need a different plan. Can we get rid of several more cards in hand? We can't. Okay, new plan. We're gonna play Apotheosis. We're gonna draw 3 cards from here instead of 2, and then we're gonna have oh my god, I discarded the setup too. Setup could have fixed this problem. Shoot. Alright, let's just Apotheosis and set up for Catalysting soon. Okay. We can't draw 2 unless we only play 2 cards this turn. If we were going to do that, the 2 cards would be Bouncing Flask, Dark Shackles. That's not terrible. If we Dark Shackles, we still take 6. We have no block other than Dark Shackles. If we draw 2 cards, we're drawing a little bit of block for next turn. We could Plated Armor to only take 2. We do lose a Plated Armor with that. Okay, let's see where this lands. Split. Oh, we actually block out perfectly with this. Okay, so let's do that then. We do waste some energy. But that's okay. Okay, Grand Finale is always happening. And then can we kill Donu with Deadly Poison Double Catalyst? Probably. So he goes from 13 to 21 to 63 or 64 to, yeah, 180 some. Is that what we want to do? We don't have any other way of blocking. Okay. If we could block, though, I would love to block pause right here. Right? Let's not block. Because if we could put him to 64, we could spend the other catalyst on Deca and end the fight way sooner. But we can only block for 10. We end up blocking for 18 and taking 25. Okay, alright. We'll just have to bite back to full against Deca. Alright, he's going to be hitting for 42 for the rest of our lives. We have got 4 block. Assuming we play 3 cards a turn, we've got 7 block. So that means we need to block for 35 with cards. We can block for 24, 34. Almost. We still lose the Plated Armor. But it's only 1 health, so that's okay. Oh wait, no, we don't lose the health because after image. Oh wait, no, I was already assuming I played 3 cards. Yeah. So I lose 3? If my math was wrong in some other way as well. No, I lose 1. Okay, whatever. Numbers. How do they work? Nobody knows. Let's get that poison in there and try and draw Bouncing Flask this turn. This first. Oh, there's Bouncing Flask. Okay. We could set it up for to make it cause 0 and then draw it, but Backflip is one of our only sources of block. I guess I'll set it up to cost 0 and then Acrobatics to draw it. Right, try and get some health back with bites. Alright, not too worried about Grand Finale, although we could probably do it next turn if we set ourselves up to... if we backflipped and set ourselves up to draw 4. We're going to backflip anyway, so I guess we might as well just do that. Plus, Grand Finale is just a really stylish way of ending fights. I think we care a little bit more about the substance, though. Okay, and then we should be able to double bite next turn to get back to full. Cool. This doesn't matter. Alright. Well, first boss complete, back to full health. That went well. We used a potion. I was a little bit worried about killing Donu with the 2 catalysts, but we got there. This fight's scary. We play a lot of powers on turn 1. I think there's just not much we can do about it, though. Okay, sitting for 26. Hopefully we can use the Dark Shackles trick to negate that strength gain for the second phase. I think I care more about blocking than doing a Flechettes combo, so let's backflip. We can probably skip the footwork. Let's see if this blocks. Hand of Greed. Secret Technique blocks. Hand of Greed costs 0 and does a bunch of extra damage and actually gets me gold here. Is it worth it? We lose 16 health to get the gold. What would we get with Secret Technique? We would probably get Survivor or Apotheosis. If I want to play super optimally, I should probably go back and restart the fight and drink the colorless potion first thing, because if I got Secret Technique into Apotheosis, I would have wanted to Apotheosis my Noxious Fumes before I played it. Which I did not do correctly, but I'm not going to do that. Killing the cultist is a pretty important priority in this fight, so I think I will take Hand of Greed. So 36 plus 23 is 59. Which kills either cultist. Okay. Hey, we get to block it for more. Hey, Sir Artemal, how's it going? I'm doing good. How did you first hear about Slay the Spire? Yeah, let's do this. Alright, we've got a survivor too. Wow, this turned out way better than I imagined. And then let's backstep while we got the strength. We could deflect for 1 block, but I think it's probably worth a little bit more than that. Alright. Hitting for 26 again. Interesting. Do you watch your friend play a lot of games? Is that how you get a lot of recommendations? I also heard about it through a friend, but it was like a work friend. Oh, man. Yeah. Was it a streamer that you normally watched who played it, or was it you went to Twitch to watch Slay the Spire? Let's see. We want to block for 26. That's hard to do. We can only block for little chunks of 5. I probably should have played that footwork. I guess I don't mind waiting for Apotheosis for it, but it's hurting. Let's play this Deflect and Acrobatics and see what we're getting into. 3, 6, 9. So actually we need to play another card before we play Acrobatics. I guess a Defend is probably getting played. Probably don't need 3 bites in hand. Alright, well this is the max block and does a little bit of damage. So I'll take it and take 12. Is it safe to Distilled Chaos? No, there's a Catalyst in there. I guess either of these targets is not an absolute disaster for Catalyst to hit. He hosted somebody playing this, so that's right. Interesting. Yeah, okay. There's Grand Finale. Very grand. We're taking 48 from him and 11 from him, which way kills us. We could try and find Wraith form. We probably need to kill him, so let's hit him with a dagger throw and see what our option is. That's not useful. These bites are preventing us from drawing better cards, but this bite does kill him, so that's useful. Okay, still have to deal with the 48 damage. And I think we're looking for a Wraith form now. A bit odd to be using a power potion in the Awakened One fight, but do what you have to do. There's a Wraith form. It's way too early though, right? If we Wraith form, we're gonna die. We have to do it though. I'm gonna wait on Bouncing Flask for next turn. So then we're gonna finish this turn up with Deadly Poison and Fight. Start thinking about Grand Finale. We're going to end with 5 cards in hand. There is no draw here, but we can use the Distilled Chaos to kind of draw 3, as long as we're okay with whatever 3 it's going to be. So let's plan on that. Oh, right. Wait, how did I get it wrong and then also right? I thought I was going to... I drew an extra card because this cultist died, but I wasn't accounting for. But then I still have 3 cards in my draw pile. What happened? Okay, we can Bouncing Flask, and then Distilled Chaos, and then Grand Finale. Which seems neat. I guess we can Apotheosis before that, too. So Bouncing Flask, and then this is going to be a Catalyst, and an Alchemize. Oh no, it's going to be Setup, too, though. Setup puts a card on top, so we don't get it. Darn. Okay, let's just do it this way then. Let's play 3 cards so that we draw 3, and then just Grand Finale naturally next turn. We have 3, 6, 8 cards in hand, so we need to play 1 more to draw 3. That last one's going to be Neutralize. We're saving the Dark Shackles so that we can reset him. Reset his strength. Let me read your comment, Sir Edible. Yeah, I do feel like the starting deck randomness is insane. It's like you can pick your combination if you want and like have an idea of what you're going to try to do, but since the starting deck is randomized, you're really dependent on like if that randomness happens to work. I totally agree with that, but I don't know if I would say make it a very fast round and very RNG based. I don't necessarily think that's true. Okay, let's play this. Oh, Fairy Model, wow. That's a big pickup. We're going to play at least 1 Catalyst in the first phase. We could play the second Catalyst and then Dark Shackles now. He would die, and he'd die with 0 strength. And he'd come back in the second phase. We need to kill him super fast, because our dex is going down. But we also kind of need to save a Catalyst for the second phase, or else we don't have any scaling. But we also need to block right now. I think we just go right now. I think this is the way. Alright, this is going to be the tough part. Yeah, I don't know if we can survive this with -3 dex. But we'll give it a shot. We could set something up and then draw it immediately, but I don't know why we need to do that. Let's draw with Dagger Throw. There's Bouncing Flask. That's something we can set up and then play. Alright, well that was a nice fast start to phase 2. I like it. I still don't know if we're getting there, but taking 2. We got a Fairy in a bottle. It's possible. We can't skip damage because we are dying very quickly. I don't know if people were here for this bit, but way early in Act 1, when I first picked After Image, I was like, sometimes it's useful to have an ancillary source of dexterity in case you like play Wraith form or something. And man, is that ever true for this run? Okay, let's get rid of the dodge and roll. That's borderline useless now. And take 7. I still think we're too slow though. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. Okay, can we draw 3 cards? No. We can draw 2 cards with backflip. So we've got 3, 6, 7 cards in hand. So if we played nothing, we could draw 3 and Grand Finale next turn. And then that next turn is like Grand Finale, Footwork, Backflip, Flechettes or something. Oh my god, you're right, we can play a pot. We get a free Footwork. No, we shuffle with the Acrobatics though. Alright, I think I'm just gonna do nothing. Feels weird. Probably should have planned for this turn a little bit better last turn. That's not what happened. Oh my god. Man. Void. Oof. That's, Yep, didn't see that coming. Okay, alright, so we have to block somehow. So that's going to be Footwork and something. We are dying no matter what. Because we can't block for 7 with a single card. But if we bite, we do a little bit of damage and we still Fairy in a bottle. Okay. Okay. Maybe we can line up this Grand Finale with this last shuffle. We've got Acrobatics and the Backflip isn't in there? Did I already play Backflip? Oh, Backflip was the card I shuffled with, I forgot. Okay. How about like Bouncing Flask, Survivor this turn? Actually, Survivor's barely blocking for more than Orichalcum. Maybe we just like Bouncing Flask Bite. Flechettes is doing 30 damage here. If we survive if we bite, so we can like Flechettes double bite. Or Flechette's Bouncing Flask maybe? No, Flechette's Bouncing Flask dies. Let's play Bite, and then play the Distilled Chaos. And see what we get. Oh wait, do we have enough hand room for this? Because if we get Cloak and Dagger, we're adding 2 cards to the hand. And then Dagger Throw is also trying to draw. 3, 6, 9. So we could bite Flechettes and then Distilled Chaos. I'm not 100% sure what the point of that is. Maybe we save Flechettes for when we have like 9 skills in hand. Can we set that up? So then this turn is like Bite Survivor or something. Get rid of the Hand of Greed, try and draw more skills. There's a couple of non-skills here. Dagger Throw, Neutralize, and 2 bites. Mostly skills though. That's true, we currently are not surviving. I was counting on Orichalcum, and Orichalcum is turned off by the afterimage. Okay, so we have to play Survivor. So it's going to be Bite Survivor. Defend is currently blocking for 4. Let's get rid of the dodge and roll, because it's almost doing nothing. Okay. So we're drawing 4 cards. Getting voided. Alright. So to survive this turn, we need to gain 9 effective health. This is 3, that's 3. That's 3, so that survives. This also blocks, so let's do this first. Okay. Oh right, each card gains us an effective health too. Okay, so we only need 3 more. which could just be 3 cards. We need to acrobatics now if we want to set up Grand Finale for next turn. So maybe this turn is like acrobatics bite or something. Alright, let's map this out. So we want to finish him next turn with Grand Finale Flechettes somehow. So he's taking 37 and then 39, so he's taking 76. So he's down to 96, or wait, 97. So he's down to 97. Grand Finale is going to do 60. Flechettes is going to do 30. That seems imminently possible. We just have to survive this turn. And we have to actually get Grand Finale to go, right? Those are the big challenges. Okay. So if we acrobatics, we draw 4 cards right now. We have 3, 6, 9 cards in hand, so we shouldn't do that. I think the big challenge is how do we draw 8 cards? Void is getting out of hand, so we're going to have 8 cards at the end of turn right now if we just ended. Can we just Flechettes now? Because he's going to be down. He's down to 97, was it? 97, and Grand Finale is 60. So we only need to do 37 damage, and this is currently doing 24. So we'd be 13 off. There's 2 bites coming, so I think we can just Flechettes now. And Flechette's bites survives this turn. And gets to a store minimum hand size, so I think it's as close as we can get. And then we just need acrobatics to draw us a full hand for next turn. Forgot about the void. Okay, so we have to draw 5 cards somehow. We don't have any draw. We have to draw either finesse or dagger throw. Yeah, I got voided last turn. Alright, I think deflect is always happening. We need to get deflect out of hand. Is this working? So he's at... This doesn't seem like it's enough, because Grand Finale is 30, or 60, and he's at 39. So that's only like 99 damage. Where's the... Were we weak last turn or something? I guess Hand to Greed can pick up the difference, maybe. That doesn't seem likely. Cloak and Dagger also does damage. And actually blocks for quite a bit. But I don't think we're surviving this turn. Okay, so if we get really lucky, Distilled Chaos. If Distilled Chaos hits Dagger Throw and Finesse, then we can draw all 5 cards and Grand Finale right now. This costs 0 and frees up hand size. We need 2 spaces in hand, right? We've got 3, 6, and 9, so we need 1 more space. Should we just play the Hand of Greed now? I don't think we're... Yeah, we're not getting gold out of it either way. So let's just play it. Okay. And then we've got 3, 6, 8 cards in hand, so if both Finesse and Dagger Throw go off, we go to a full hand, and then we discard 1. If we miss one of them, let's see, can we just Acrobatics now? If we Acrobatics now, we... No, if we play Acrobatics, then we get to Dagger Throw and don't have the energy to play it. So we'd have to draw specifically Finesse, which isn't 80%. I think I would take an 80% to win this fight. But wait, our hand is too full for that, right? We got 3, 6, 8 cards. Yeah, we'd only draw 3. So that would lose us the run. Okay, so this is some chance, but it's the only chance we have. Don't need this defend. Okay, we got it. Cool. Well, that was wild. I can't believe I survived that. Man, using both catalysts in the first phase of Awaken 1 is real scary. Do we rest for 8 HP or take an upgrade? I think 8 HP is more important than upgrading Noxious Fumes. Yeah, that was some good TV right there. It was probably more like math out loud than like regular TV would do, but you know, the drama in the math. Yeah, I think we're taking 8 HP. What do you got for me, Shopkeep? Pretty weird that I'm considering buying Poison Stab right now, considering it's floor 54, and that's like a damage common. But we have 2 sources of non-catalyst poison. Or I guess we have 3, because we have Noxious Fumes now. Yeah, we have a bottled Noxious Fumes, we should never buy Poison Stab. Okay. There's Panache being offered again. Should probably just buy 2 potions. Oh wait, we can't afford that. Should probably buy just the Liquid Memories then. Liquid Memories is pretty good. Man, do I ever regret taking the last setup. That setup has been really bad. I thought that it helped set up Grand Finale, but that has not been how it's been going. It's just such a negative card draw card, and I'm always trying to get positive card draw to get Grand Finale now. I think it's just Liquid Memories here. Yeah, I guess card removal was an option too, but Liquid Memories seems really good, so I don't mind that too much. Alright, this turn is bad. The next turn is worse. So what do we do to survive these turns? Well, our turn 1 damage wombo combo with Flechettes is not very effective right now. We could do 22 damage and then 22 again. So it's 44 plus 16 is 60 for 1 energy. And then we could do Dagger Throw Double Bite kills him. Gives us a free turnaround and we take 12. That's all 4 energy, which means we're skipping After Image and Noxious Fumes. But skipping things is not that big of a deal with a Runic Pyramid deck, because we can just play it next turn. We do get Auric Alchemy, that's a good point. So we only take 6. We've got Bites. I don't know if Bites are necessarily going to actually heal us against Spire Spear. But it does seem like turning this from a 2 enemy fight into a 1 enemy fight on turn 1 is probably pretty good. Okay, let me do this math again just to make sure I'm not screwing myself. 22 from this, and then... Actually, Dagger Throw might increase the damage on it, and that could save me a bite. Okay, so if we Dagger Throw first and get a skill, then this does 33, 66. 66 plus 14 is 80, and then 1 bite, yeah. So it does save me a bite. So I can Dagger Throw, and then if I get a skill, I can play Noxious Fumes and do the combo and still kill him. Don't want to play After Image, because then it interferes with the Auric Alchemy. Okay, so let's start there. It's Grand Finale. I think Grand Finale is probably the worst card in the hand. Yep. Okay, it was not a skill, so this is only doing 22. So it's 22, 44, and then 24 more. Wait, 44 plus 24 is only 68. He's at 79. Why did I think this was going to work? Oh, wait, backstep. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Gremlin Horn. Alright, pretty happy to just Noxious Fumes though. Finesse is negative block. Okay. Alright. So now we have to block for 40 somehow. After Image, Finesse seems like a good start. Deflect and Backflip I think are happening too. Yeah, we are taking some damage here. But that's turn 2 against Spire, really. It's not much you can do about that. Okay, his last artifact charge is gone. And I am excited to get some poison going, so let's do that. Seems like we could use a potion. I'm not necessarily sure that's the best thing to do right now. Seems like Acrobatics and go find Alchemize, or Apotheosis is pretty good. We have 3, 6, 8 cards in hand, so we can do this. Okay. That ain't it. Should we Survivor just to reduce hand size and draw 5 cards? We could also Catalyst now. Takes him up to 17 poison. Which is not super impressive, but it means that the Apotheosis other Catalyst probably kills him. He goes from 17 to 19. No, and then from 19 to like 60. Yeah, Alchemize and Bite. So the only reason to not do Alchemize or Bite is if the fight is ending next turn and I don't have enough energy to spare. But it doesn't seem like that's what's happening. So I think I'm going to favor Bite. We can do Alchemize if we have extra time. Health is more important than potions. Okay, Dark Shackles is pretty good right now. I don't think we need to save it for anything better than that. And I would love to get a upgraded Catalyst, but I think I'm pretty satisfied getting one for getting him up to 45 poison. It sets him up for a lethal next turn, which I believe is guaranteed. Did I discard Grand Finale? I don't really need it to end the fight, but it's weird that it's not in hand. I guess I'll neutralize so I draw all the cards. Right, burns. It is not guaranteed, but we do have it with Bite. Okay, and then I guess we'll Alchemize for a potion. And block the burn damage. Alright, Act 4 elites are brutal. But we made it to the heart. If you can make it to the heart with 2 copies of Catalyst, there's a decent chance you win. If the cards line up correctly and we can like... we can get a Dark Shackles off on a big multi-attack or something, we have a decent shot at this. But it is not going to be easy. I think we're skipping all these. None of these help against the heart. Neat. Bite plus. Okay. I don't think our Flechette's combo is going to do too much against the heart. He doesn't care at all. Noxious Fumes needs to happen this turn. Probably Backflip to block beat damage. Ooh, Apotheosis. Yes, please. Okay, so we get an upgrade in Noxious Fumes. Kind of a big deal. Then we can play Deadly Poison for the last energy. If we played Backstab, we take 1, but it does do more damage now than it does in the future. And we draw an extra card. I think I'll take 1 to draw a card. We'll probably play Alchemize in a similar situation, but whatchamacallit, Backstab does more damage on turn 1 than any other turn. Alright, well, like Dark Shackles, thank you. Okay, so it's probably Deflect or something to block beat damage, and then like Footwork, Dark Shackles. He's only hitting us for 60. I don't think we're blocking for 60. I think we need a Dark Shackles right now. So I think I want to play Catalyst right now. Maybe this is the Distilled Chaos. I think we play Defend to block beat damage and then Distilled Chaos. And maybe play 2 Catalysts this turn. Should be really nice. What's the worst thing that can happen here? We could hit Grand Finale. Is that really the worst thing? Yeah, there's nothing bad that can happen. Okay. We did hit Grand Finale. Okay, he's up to 27, so Catalyst upgrades him to 70-something. I guess it's 80-something. Okay, that's good enough. It's most of a damage cap. I'll take it. And we'll Alchemize since we have extra block. Deck Spot's going to be really nice. Alright, this is the big challenge turn. Alright, let's drink the Deck Spot. And Finesse. Okay. Yeah, I think we die here. Can Acrobatics do anything fun? Let's see, so we have 3, 6, 9 cards, so we can Cloak and Dagger and keep the shivs. Great. Yep, there's nothing. I get like Neutralize is the best thing. Three, 6, 8. I guess Catalyst and then Acrobatics. Pretty sure it doesn't matter. Oh, we did get the Neutralize. I don't think that's enough, right? Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah. We're never really surviving this fight. I don't know. I made some optimistic sounds before we got here, but getting hit for 50, it's just too much. We didn't find that kind of block. Along with the beat damage. We needed like Wraith form or something. No, we only had 3 energy. This is like dash is, you know, 2 of your energy for just 10 block. It's not gonna cut it. Yeah, that was closer than I thought we were gonna get, to be honest. Um, Maybe we should have removed the flechettes at some point. Oh, yeah, we only have 3 energy because we took a runic pyramid first, and then we weren't offered an energy relic at the second one. Runic pyramid's great, so I don't mind taking that over an energy relic. But the second choice was empty cage, black star, and technically it was an energy relic. It was philosopher's stone, but yeah, maybe philosopher's stone would have been the pick because if we picked philosopher's stone, he still wouldn't have hit us with the multi attack. Um, yeah. I don't know. I always have trouble with after image decks. Like I always get caught in the like Shiv Kunai trap, especially when I see like an after image. I didn't really do that here, but I just never found an effective way of blocking. We avoided some question marks in Act 2 after we got bites, because I was like, I wouldn't want bites and apparitions, but maybe we just needed bites and apparitions. Um, it's close then. Really heroic victory against the Act 3 boss, which is fun.